Hello, anybody and everybody? Anybody there? I'm gonna give it a minute, see if anybody pops in. If anybody is there, or for anybody that might watch this later, I'm just popping on unannounced, impromptu, and kind of want to talk about a couple of things. I'll wait and see if anybody jumps on. Somebody in the house. Country Prep Night. KKR, hello. I see you got your blue wrench, KKR. Bride of Christ, hello. Hang Walker and Traveling Jack, good evening. DS, good evening. I'm going to give it a minute, as per usual, let some folks jump on here. I wanted to talk about a couple things. David G, what's up? Ren Jackson, by the way, I'm looking from this phone. Rich, what's up, buddy? Watchman News, hey, Watchman, you're not here. This is just a recording. Zeus, Jean Paul, hey, y'all give me 1 second. I hate to, well, let me answer KKR's question. The blue wrench means you're a mod, you're a moderator on here. So you have the ability to, if somebody, says something in a comment, it's held for review, or if it gets passed and it's downright ugly or something, you can kind of control comments, that kind of thing. So Steven Sewell, what's up, buddy? I think I already said John Paul. But yeah, that's right, KKR, you got power. Will y'all give me just a second? I'm going to go grab 2 seconds. I'm going to go grab this charging block for this phone because it's darn near dead. And then this one's plugged up already. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. Here I am. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. It took a little longer than I expected because it wasn't in the pocket of my bag where it was supposed to be. Yeah, intermission, treble. Let's see. All right. So by the way, just as an aside, a termite. These little guys are handy. You've probably seen them, little chargers. They can charge your phone, I don't know, 10 or 12 times and other stuff. They make bigger ones. And anyway, handy things to have. And of course, with my solar charging unit and all that good stuff, if our whole system went down, grid goes down, that kind of thing, if you've got electronics and you can turn them back on, a lot of people would say, what good does that do you? If the system that they're attached to doesn't work. But at any rate, let's see here. Let me look at some comments. I'm going to jump into what I wanted to talk about here in a minute. Thomas Flynn, what's up? And Tennessee Patriot says, need you to do a Simple Man cover. Come play guitar with you. What area are you in, Tennessee Patriot 777? Most everybody here knows that I am Southwest Tennessee. So at any rate, and I love people to jam with, so because I love to do that. So thanks, Eddie Garrett. I appreciate that. And Watchman, appreciate that. Who all saw the video I did, I guess yesterday, or I put up yesterday, of the song I did where, you know, it was obviously a Black Sabbath song. Oh, Tennessee Patriot, B.J. Milton, 10-4. Oh, privacy purposes, and I just said it. Sorry. Led Zepp girl, what's up? I know you're a music aficionado and fan. All right, I'm going to jump in here. Yeah, no, YouTube does not send all the notifications. They don't. I find that I have to, and I mean, you guys know that, I mean, not only am I subbed to, let's say, Zombie Farmer and Guns Coast to Coast and Corsair Trainers and, you know, so on and so forth, Integrated Preparedness, Steve Smith, A-American, that new one that Zombie just shared a video of recently or earlier today. I can't think of the guy's name or his channel name right at this very moment, but you guys know what it was. Just earlier today, about 8 hours ago or so. So, you know, I'm subbed to different people, and I find that I have to regularly go and look, you know, I've just got to look because I don't get notifications. Or if I do, thank you, Mark. It's good to be seen, you know. But if I do get the notifications, it's like a day later, you know, or several hours later, especially live. You know, I usually don't get that stuff. And I didn't plan this, and I didn't announce this or anything. I've been watching videos. Many of you guys know that Mrs. RWP and Little RWP are out of town. We did our vacation and shifts this year. You know, we did do a vacation, and you know, which was a, you know, a big decision to make too, because this thing is 500 miles away. What we do, Zombie, what's up, buddy? There's my brother from another mother right there. Zombie, I was just kind of prefacing what we're doing here, what I was doing. I have been, and I'll touch back on this for you, Zombie, and for everybody else, but I have been here home alone, basically. Well, I mean, I've been working and taking care of the homestead, and this little knucklehead right here. You see my knucklehead? That's a good dog right there. He is. That's that little stray we brought home, or I brought home from work last December. But anyway, so, you know, while Mrs. RWP and Little RWP are out of town, and so I've been looking at a lot more YouTube this week. You know, I've had a lot more time where I haven't had, I guess, the family distractions and that kind of thing. Although I've had lots of other duties to do, all of the morning shift stuff that Mrs. RWP does, and then I normally take care of the evening stuff. Well, anyway, I digress. But I've been looking at, more than anything, when I've had some free time, or even when I'm out doing some stuff, I'll put on somebody's video, put in an earbud, you know, and rock, and listen to what they have to say. And one thing that I have always felt like I've been pretty good at, a pretty good read of people, and also a pretty good, you know, I've used the term before about dipping my finger in the water to gauge the temperature, right? And of situations, of things in general. And one thing that I find right now, preface this by saying I'm not trying to do, you know, you hear the term, the fear porn and the, you know, all that kind of stuff, because that's not what this is about. But the truth is, the people that are awake, the people that are watching what's going on, the people that are like us, like many of us here, you know, that do prepare, that are paying attention, that do understand this world that we're living in. Thanks, Pharaoh. It was fun to do. I love music, so love doing that. But anyway, those of us that are looking at this stuff and paying attention, and, you know, have eyes to see, ears to hear, all that good stuff. I'm noticing that those people, many of us, Zombie, you for sure are one, many others, the feeling, the sense, your spidey senses, right? Tingling up the back of your necks, right? I know they are with me. And so the more I can see people talking about this stuff, about, hey man, this stuff is about to happen, whatever it is that's going down, whichever way that it's going to go down. I don't think any of us know. Many of us can speculate, I'm sure, but who knows? But we all, I think, agree that that all indications are that we're right on the precipice. Fast Eddie from Boston, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. We're right on the edge of whatever this chasm is that's going to be the big change. Now I'm gonna use an example here, and I apologize if this offends anybody. Let me say this too, by the way, as far as offense. East Tennessee Preparedness, what's up? Some folks got offended and actually unsubscribed, which whatever, I don't care. But and let me know in some comments, private and on the video otherwise. Some I removed, but when I did that little Black Sabbath song yesterday, it was obviously it turned some people off. I don't know if it was just because it was music and me being silly with the lyrics and all. And if you guys know that song, Crazy Wisdom, what's up? If you guys know that song and know what it actually says, and then heard what I did with it, you get what I did anyway. But so to go ahead and preface those that might get offended, because I'm going to use an example here that has to do with thanks Swackhammer, I did too. That has to do with media and entertainment. Okay, there's a show on Hulu. Many of you may be aware of it, maybe you're not. Called The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm not going to go into great detail. You guys can look at that on your own. Okay, if you want to, if you're interested. It's an interesting show, interesting concept. But basically, what happens is I'm going to give you just one little aspect of it. Just describe one part of it. Something happens in the country, and it's in America. It's set in America, modern day, and there's a breakdown of things where decisions have been made up on high, from government, from military, from I'm guessing some hired gun mercenary type folks. If you watched it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's right, Zombie. If they're soft enough to get offended, they shouldn't be here. And that's why I don't care. I just really don't, man. At this point, you either are going to pick up the message or you're not. You know what I mean? You're either going to understand where we are and respond accordingly, or you're not. But anyway, so this show, Dave Leach, what's up? Hey to you too. So this show I'm talking about, the Handmaid's Tale, there was decisions that were made behind closed doors, with the government, within the government, and that had to do with what they were going to do regarding Congress, regarding the White House, regarding the public. And these decisions were made and then implemented like this. So it made me think, and because Mrs. RWP started watching the show, and that's another thing I have to admit that I did since I've been home last weekend. YouTube videos, watching you guys that are out here, and then also Steve A. It was good. I agree. I'm not through it yet, but I'm about 6 or 7 episodes in. But the big takeaway that I want to mention here, and I'm again using this as the example, is that they implemented their plan, this devious plan. J.R. Hunter, sorry I keep jumping, y'all. I'm reading comments too. I didn't know I was live streaming till just a few minutes ago. Corsair Trainers, hey buddy, good to have you. So they implemented this plan, right? They made the plan, and then some 3 weeks later, according to the show, they implemented it. But they did it all in one fell swoop. They cut off bank accounts. They cut off credit card access and debit card access. They removed people from workplaces. They did, all this stuff. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but what I am saying is that the power certainly exists that if whatever falls off the rails, Zombie 5, Dumpster, Maccabeus, Crazy Wisdom, hey, everybody, I'm just saying hi to you. But if it goes off the rails, rather when it goes off the rails, because I believe that it's going to. I guess I hadn't considered that it might go like kabam. Rich Holloway, look at Lebanon, they're freaking out. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, you know, at heart, I'm a cockeyed optimist. I always have been. You know, and maybe I need to shake that. Maybe that's something I need to get a little harder about, you know. And I don't want to be a hard guy, you know. If I have to be, I can be, have been, will be again. But typically that's not who I am. But I got to keep my head in the game. We all got to keep our heads in the game. You know, and the way that this made me consider things, the way that I've been thinking about things and watching these YouTubers like me, like you guys, talking about what we're talking about the way things are going and how fast they're going. I mean, think about how quickly like this whole sickness and the solution and all those things have come about, and how quickly, you know, just what, 8 months ago, 10 months ago, what month are we in? October. Okay, so let's go back a little further than that. A year ago, okay? A year ago, you've got all the folks, and I hate to use the left-right paradigm, the Repubs, Democrats, whatever. Hey, Guns, what's up, buddy? And no, it's not slowing down. Guns, you need a, you know what you need? You need, oh, that's not it. Hey, Zombie, can you give him, I don't know if I can do it right now from my phone while I'm broadcasting. If you can, do it, and if not, then Guns, I'm going to give you a wrench another time if I can't do it now. But at any rate, it's going so fast. The things we've seen, again, a year ago, you had all these Dems talking about, okay, Guns, no problem, saying, oh, if Trump's passing out the vaccine, I don't want it. I don't trust him. I don't trust the government. And what, Cuomo, you know, the fallen hero, Cuomo, you know, he was saying, you know, I don't trust the federal government. You know, all these folks talking about not until it's been tested, not until it's been approved, not until we get all this, you know, hooty-hotty, whatever. And then they changed their tune. So, and that's just an example I'm using, how quickly all of this has gone off the rails, off the sidelines. All right, Zombie, see you, bud. It just should be to us a glaring example of how quickly this stuff moves and how quickly it can move and will move. And I guess I hadn't considered what I saw in this show. And again, I hate to use the show or any show, any kind of entertainment, you know, programming, because that's what it is, programming in some ways, as an example. Frankly, it made me think. And I hadn't considered that it could go, I don't know why I hadn't considered it, but it's just something that's made me think about it. So where does that put us? Where do we stand? You know, no, I agree, Country Prepper 19. It is not a traditional V. It's this whole situation, what's going on, where we are. The show I'm referring to, sorry, J.R. Hunter, for those of you guys that have just jumped on it, the Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. And again, I'm not going to go back over it. Y'all look it up. Even if you don't watch the show, just look at what the premise is about it and find out what I'm talking about. But they and all I'm mentioning this show about for J.R. Hunter and anybody else is just there was something that took place in the show. There was a catalyst that brought the characters in this show into this new world. Okay, set in modern times here in America. I think based out of Boston is where the character or the action's taking place. But it's the whole country. But anyway, it's just the quickness of it and how Tennessee Patriot 777. I'm gonna touch on that too. I saw that the other day. I don't know, guys. I just, like I say, I just had things on my mind. I'm watching. I'm putting my finger in the water, feeling the temperature. The reset of currency, a new religion of climate change is coming. Yes, guns. Yes, religion is what you said. That's what it is. The religion of climate change. You know, it used to be global warming. Now it's climate change because they can't say it's warming. But excuse me. But again, putting my finger in the water, feeling the temperature of what's going on with all these other voices, guns, zombie, American, just whoever, all these different folks that I look at, and even some that I don't look at regularly that I'm getting notifications for, or rather is showing up on my feed with these titles in their recent videos, a day or two old, and I'm watching, and there is a general sense among all of us, the hair on the back of our necks are standing up. And I know we've been talking about this stuff for a long time, several months, year or two, whatever it may be. And I'm sorry I'm not catching all these comments, but I'm trying to focus on what I want to say here. But the speed and veracity that it's happening is unparalleled. I mean, it's unbelievable, is what it is, and it's. I never would have imagined. What about you guys? I mean, would you have thought that things would have moved this fast? Let me ask you this. First, let me state this. I believe that what we see, what happens, what will happen, and I mean a big shake, a huge shake, like life-changing shake for all of us, nation-changing shake for all of us. I believe we're going to see it between here and Christmas. Absolutely, Country Prepper 19. That's 10 years ahead. They're 10 years ahead of where I thought they would be with the brainwashing, no doubt. And guns, not just with the brainwashing, but with the hell with the actual delivery of whatever the plan is, whatever the end game is. I believe the same thing. I remember when I guess it was when Trump got elected, many of us were saying, oh, that means, we probably got 4 to 8 years, right? Not to be all end all of everything. Okay, I voted for him. I don't mind sharing that. I did. But I'm not a Trumpster as it is, but I voted for him. But yeah, at that time when that's all I'm saying. When he got elected, many of us were saying, well, we got 4 to 8 years. Man, if that time, Anton, where's the kilt? What's up? If that time hasn't been accelerated greatly, then I'm not sitting here on YouTube talking to you guys right now. I'm back in the suburbs a decade ago with my thumb up my butt, not paying attention to any of this stuff, because that's where I was a decade ago, or a little better than, but until my eyes were opened. God opened my eyes. He wanted me to see these things. Brian Jewett says they want us to suffer. They do. Well, more than they want us to suffer, they want us. Let me see. Wax Factory just made it on my algorithm. Never seen your channel. Must be making it. Thanks, brother. Glad you're here. Lots of good people on here too. If you see these commenters, several of them are content creators, if you're not already aware of them, that are like-minded and smarter than me for sure. This guy right here, Guns, is one of them. But anyway, it's just crazy. Who would have ever thought that we'd go barreling down into this. But I really, I do. I believe I believe that before this year's out, you're going to see something shaking. And the way that Rusty, what's up? The way that the ways, the methods, the abilities that they have, the government, those who are in control, whoever you want to place on it, okay, whoever it is, they got way more money, they got way more power, they've got way way more technology than any of us, even combined. They can flip this with the just like that, boom, hit a switch, and we're flipped upside down. And they've been conditioning us, and the brainwashing, like Guns mentioned earlier, conditioning us to that's a weird thing. They're kind of showing us. It's in plain sight. It's I can't remember what the term is. You guys probably know. It has to do with like predictive programming. That's it. Predictive programming with the stuff that's on TVs and movies and blah blah blah, whatever. They sort of put the ideas in your head. And by the way, anybody who's putting comments on here that I'm missing and might not see until later, you can hit my email address up and I can see if you've got something. I see some of you guys putting some things that may be specific. But anyway, with all the predictive programming, the brainwashing, they're setting us up. They're telling us the story. They're giving us the ideas through fiction, perhaps, in a lot of this stuff, so that in a way our minds get used to it and understand it, so that when it actually happens, it doesn't seem that weird. Now, isn't that weird? Isn't that strange? It's not new, okay? I'm not that I just uncovered something here, because this is, most of you guys probably have recognized this all along. I have as well. But I guess there has been somewhat of a disconnect for me, in that, again, it's the cockeyed optimist in me. I guess I have not wanted to accept fully that we're really there, really at the precipice. I figured we would see it coming, like we would see it coming in an obvious fashion, a slow, sluggardly, giant behemoth creeping down the hill, right? And we go, whoa, here it comes. It's going to be here, it's going to be here in a few months, a few years, whatever. And we'd have time in a way to sort of thwart it and to hold it off. I don't think that's how it's going to be. Wait a minute. Saw something here. New World Order, Green New Deal, Great Reset, Agenda 2030, and the fake press, Build Back Better, all the same. But yeah, that is what they want, billions to be wiped off the map. And this is, again, going back to this show that I started this out, that prompted an example in my mind, same kind of deal. Hey, and I have to ask, too, Sidney Sullivan, by chance, are you the Sidney Sullivan with a name, with another name, a something Sidney Sullivan that I know? Just curious. Just say yes or no if we know each other. I've seen you comment before, and I've wondered that. And anyway, just a sideline, just a sideline there, side note. So yeah, I don't think at all that we're going to have time to react or respond. Rather, no more than okay. Thanks, Sydney. And funny enough, the Sidney Sullivan I was talking about is John Sidney Sullivan, somebody that I know. But anyway, interestingly, but I think they're going to punch us right in the face with it. I think it's going to come not out of the blue, because we know it's coming, but I don't think any of us are going. It's going to, like a thief in the night, like Jesus said, we're not going to know when his return is, what day, what time, any of that stuff. It's just going to go bam, like a thief in the night. And that's where I believe this is headed. This is how I think it's going to happen. And it is just, this is from my gut, and that's it. I mean, it's not just from my gut. I mean, it's looking at things and processing things and trying to understand. Yeah, Sydney, they are aerosol spraying us like bugs. They have been. I watch it out here over my skies. All of these things, and that's a great example. All of these things, we've been seeing it coming. We've been seeing all the little things that they do, right? All the mandating, the sky seeding, the stuff they're putting in our food, the stuff they're putting in our water, the things they're putting on the television, the things they're teaching our children in schools, that have children in schools. We're homeschooling, thank God, and it's still not a perfect system, because there is still a curricula that has to be followed to some degree. You can't hardly put on the TV or any of these streaming services that have, hey Marsh, that have anything that has commercials on it. Every other commercial has LGBTQ or whatever, has, and look, if somebody chooses to live that life, that's their business. It's not my business. I have my own ideas and opinions and beliefs about whether that's right or not, and whether that's, what, I'm not even going to get into that. Jeff Benjamin, I wish. I haven't watched TV in over a decade. I have told Mrs. RWP that we're going to, that I'm going to cut the cord on this thing and get rid of it. And I haven't done it, but I've threatened that for probably a year now. But, yeah, witchcraft, vampires, dark stuff. Yes, exactly. Even the Marvel movies, I mean, little RWP liked Iron Man. And so we followed that Marvel movie stuff, and me and Mrs. RWP looking at each other going, okay, that's, anyway, very dark stuff, a lot of programming and all this stuff. And again, not that I haven't seen it and stood it for what it is on some level, but it seems to me that with everything else, that it is ratcheting it up to such a speed and veracity that I just wouldn't have anticipated going so fast, going so quickly. Typically when the government does something, it is slow and inefficient, and the results are this much of the intended this much that they intended the results. So I guess in a way I expected that the rollout and the culmination of all these things, and it's not just the government at play here. In fact, I mean, we have to acknowledge that it is evil is what it is. Now, the government, largely, not every person in it, but largely is the Fabian Society, move slow and hit hard. The government, that's a good one. The government is a large catalyst here, because that's what I recommend doing the opposite of whatever the government tells you. That is the overlords. Our overlords are the government. And yes, Wackhammer, they used to try and hide it. Now it's out in the open. It's not just out in the open. It's in your face. And so I don't know, man. It's just guys. It's just blowing my mind, really. And I find myself surprised a bit, because I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm not an idiot. And God has shown me things and has opened my eyes to things, and you guys have helped me see a lot of things, and I've learned a lot, and I've grown a lot, and we've built preparations. We moved to Area 53, and we're trying to homestead, and we're raising gardens and chickens, and I've got my own water source that doesn't require electricity, and all of these things that I've been doing, that we've all been doing for the right reasons, but yet still, I guess there's somewhere in me, and I'm just admitting this to you guys, there's been, let's go Brandon, there's been a disconnect, I guess, to a degree, because it's almost like in the last 24, 48 hours or so, all this stuff's popping off in my mind. I'm going, holy cow, man, this my thinking on things is just tweaking a little bit. In that I'm recognizing that I believe, yes, moving more swiftly, Karen Lynn, moving more swiftly. And yes, what you just said, let me see the rest of that comment. Hang on, because I think I'm not wrong. Thanks, Guns. See, and Guns Coast to Coast can speak more eloquently than me, more intelligently than me. I think we think a lot of the same things, but he's just able to say, yeah, like right now, I can't even say it. He's able to say it a little, to convey the message a little better than me. So Karen Lynn, River City Paranormal says, things move along more swiftly when there's little opposition to stop the momentum. Okay, that's not what I thought it said at first. Disabled Vets, hey, buddy, good to see you. I saw your comment earlier, but I want to articulate. Thanks, Rich. That was actually the word I was looking for. But for Karen Lynn, more what I was thinking, let me go back and look at this again. Things move along more swiftly when there's little opposition to their momentum. See, what I feel like is happening, now I do feel like there's little opposition to their momentum, but I do also feel like there's a whole lot more wokeness. And I don't mean the stupid wokeness. I mean people waking up, people like us that are starting to understand and see things for what they truly are, people getting prepared and that kind of things. I think there's more of that happening in the last couple of years, certainly in the last 12 months, 18 months, than I've ever observed before, openly, that I can visually and tangibly observe, right? The data are there. And so, I guess I can't quantify that, but that is what it seems to me. Too little, too late, maybe. But see, let me speak to that, Karen Lynn. It's people are, yeah, they're getting it here, and they're doing the things for themselves, but nobody's going out and opposing. That doesn't exist at this point. That doesn't exist. Only, and again, I hate to use the left-right paradigm bullshit because that's what it is. But the left, if you want to use that as a gauge, the left, they know how to go out there and do things. They know how to go out there and do things. While we on the right, you know what we are? We're very polite. We're patient, polite and patient. And we just think, I don't trust people who don't swear. Well, you would trust me very well if I try to keep from swearing when I do these videos, but I hate to say it, but I do swear, more than my wife would like for me to. But at any rate, rule followers get beat, Gun says. Yes. So, but yeah, so, and we're rule follower. We are quiet. We are largely, what is it? That's another thing, another word I can't think of. You get the gist, though. The gist is still what I'm saying. We're reserved. We're all of those things. It's time to stop being nice, Pharaoh says. And I believe Zombie said that in a video he put out yesterday. And that stung me, too. That's the pacifist. That wasn't the word, but no, because I don't think we're pacifists at large. But we're just too damn patient and polite. We have waited too long, I think. We have waited too long. But Zombie spoke of that yesterday about not being nice anymore. And look, I don't think we should go out and intentionally be ugly. But I think that it is way past time. Tolerant. That's a good one, Alpha 165. And good to see you, by the way. That actually is, that fits what I was trying to say. So it's way past time, though, that we should have taken the gloves off and pushed back. We're being bullied. If you want to look at it in just a schoolyard scenario, we've been being bullied. Yes, put our foot down, Jeff Benjamin. We've been being bullied. and we've been taking it. We've been the folks that have been, oh, okay, here, you can have my lunch. It's fine. If we can just be friends, if we can just get along. We talk the talk, but we don't walk the walk. And, I'm going to, Karen Lynn, and I'm not trying to call you out on this, but just like with your earlier comment, I'm going to agree, but tweak and slightly disagree a little bit, because I don't think, and let me read it just to make sure. We talk the talk, but we don't walk the walk. I think that we all have the propensity to walk the walk. And we intend to walk the walk. And we will walk the walk when we don't have any other choice, when we don't have to, when we can't sit anymore. And that's the sad part. And I'm admitting that for myself too. Because for God's sake, what are we waiting on? But then the question arises, well, who goes first? And what do we do, really, that can be effective at this point? I know what Guns would say. You start, see, I don't even want to say it. I'm a little, okay, you know what? You start shooting politicians in the face, okay? That's what you do. And that's, that's one thing there. But, we have to fight fire with fire. We have to fight fire with fire. They're not playing nice. That escalated fast, didn't they? Hey, man, I learned that from you. Or the saying, anyway. You remember I did a song, Guns? Who goes first, exactly? Guns, do you remember I did a song that on the acoustic guitar last year, I guess right after the dude in the White House got elected, or got selected. And I pulled the video down because Mrs. RWP she said, okay, so yeah. Remember, I used your line there. But, all right, let's say that's what we do. But how do we do it? How do we all right, so it's either one guy or a small group of guys or whatever it is going and doing something specific, right? If we're going to use, tangible, again, words, if we're going to use, what is the word? Kinetic. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know why I can't think of these words. If we are going to do something kinetic, something real, something you can feel and touch, right? That has an action and a consequence, immediate. How do you do that unless you got, 100,000 others with you with any effect? You know what you become? You become a martyr for the cause, perhaps, but then you become a terrorist on the news. A crazy person, all that stuff. They've been calling us crazy for a long time. Not just the government, not just the media, but our fellow citizens who do not see or hear the truth. But how does that happen? How does it happen? How do we make it happen? And look, I'm being honest with you here. In my mind, I keep thinking about, every time I think about that, and I've thought about it over and over and over and over and over for the last year and a half, 2 years or more. Ratcheted up in the last year and a half, 2 years. But what I think is, how do we start? What do we do? Who goes first? How does it happen to where me or this small group or you and this small group or whoever doesn't become martyrs and or traitors, in the public view? And how does it happen to where those things don't happen to us and to our name, but also to where it creates an effect, a real, tangible, viable effect? See, I literally cannot see it. So help me out. Yes, right there. Yeah, September. See, that's a good example right there. Wannabe prepper. September trucker strike. But it really didn't take off. You know, they all talk the talk. Not many walk the walk. Yeah, Corsair trainers, absolutely. That's what I was saying earlier. They know how to do things. They know how to make a public show. Of course, also you got to take in mind, keep in mind, Corsair, that they are the left. Right? I hate to use the left-right paradigm, but that's what we'll use that. They're backed by the government. They're backed by all of these people that are against us. Yes, Philip, we are frustrated and polite and patient and all those other things that are killing us. That are killing us. Look, the country's dead, y'all. It's done. We're not going to break. It's not like we can with the next election put a Republican in, and da 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 da. Yes, there's a need for good leadership, absolutely. but anyway, we're not. I'm not trying to jump around too much, but I do that anyway. If you hadn't already figured that out about me, most of you guys that watch one video realize that I do jump around. Yeah, guns. As long as people value their dental plan and their Wi-Fi works, they're not going to do anything. So then, all right. So then, speaking to that, guns. Do you think that that's where it is? I started this video off by saying that I believe that when it happens, and I believe it's going to happen soon. See, right, disabled vets, and I'm jumping again. I know you're right about in person. I wish that had happened, but still, even still, if everything else is closed off, how do we do it? All right, so I'm trying to gather my thoughts here, trying to keep up with all the thoughts that are running through my head. Let me run back through here and see. I had a thought. What did Gun say? Okay. So Gun said, as long as we value our long game. And see, I've got ADHD, I guess. I say I guess. I've never been diagnosed. I'm just joking when I say that. But my brain races so much sometimes that I think a lot faster than I can speak. Okay, I'll put it to you that way. Let's see. Gun says long game is right, but we are in an ADHD society with no attention span, right? And let me go back to your earlier comment, Guns, because it made me think of something that I wanted to say. So as long as people value their dental plan and the Wi-Fi works, they're not going to do anything. Okay. So I started this video by saying that I believe when it does happen, that it's not only going to happen soon, but it's going to go bam, just like that. Literally, you're going to be floored. You're going to be flabbergasted. You're going to be blown away by how, the bank accounts are shut down. The roadways are shut down. All of a sudden, there's damn military at intersections. They're turning you around. Your car may not even start. Whatever it is, when they're ready to bag us up and haul us in or whatever it is, grab the reins, grab our necks, it's going to go bam, literally just like that. We're going to be dumbfounded. We're going to be shocked, confused, surprised, right? The Wi-Fi is going to be down. Your dental plans are no longer worth the crap. So is that what it's going to take? Is it going to have to go there and then we go, holy shit, we got to do something now? Is that what it is? Because we're not doing anything now, and we've got other things. We've got the internet, and we've got our dental plans, and we've got, whatever. It's maybe rhetorical because I'm just asking. See, then it's too late, J-Rock says. Okay, but then tell me and I'm not knocking what you're saying here. This is not jumping on you here, but then what do we do otherwise? What do we do? We either react to that happening, the kablam, the things go, off and we're done. Acquisition. Expound if you don't mind. J-Rock? Acquisition of what? I mean, we take a radio station, we take a town hall up in, a governor's mansion, whatever. I mean, tell me. I'm earnestly asking. Target. You mean the store or a Target? And if so, what Target? That's what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to pin you down here, J-Rock, by any means. I guess you guys are sensing my frustration a little bit, and the fact that it really it's really vexing. Guns in the end, when they don't count votes, I say mass noncompliance. Now that health officials, okay, that guns I agree with, and that's just it, noncompliance. I had a buddy of mine, Mr. P, who you guys may have seen once or twice on a video, been on there with me. He texted me a little while ago today, and he said, "Hey man, the big city that's nearest to me has a zoo that's pretty decent zoo, and kids enjoy it, and so on and so forth." And Mrs. RWP and I had like season passes or annual pass or something to the zoo for a couple years in a row, and we took the little one there, and it it's fun. It's a neat zoo. Well, anyway, I hadn't been in a couple years. I think their membership ran out last year, but at any rate, apparently he's taking his little one there. He's got a little one. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. Agreed. I do agree with that. I'm going to touch on that too in a minute. But anyhow, he texted me and said, "Hey, when you go to the zoo, can you carry?" And I said, "You know what? I said, I don't know if you can or not, as far as local laws." I said, "But I do." So that's where I am with that, to speaking to what, I think Guns said something earlier, but, I don't, there's a lot of laws that I just don't follow. Make them know your name. Is that why you're dead in a coffin and your family suffers and the news is saying your name because you were some crazy conspiracy terrorist guy who did something? Yes, Stephen Sewell. Now that's correct. They are big and clumsy, and we're small and nimble. I agree with that. And see, here's another big thing. We've talked and talked and talked and talked about the communication aspect of things. How do we effectively communicate with one another on how to coordinate any type of action we might want to take for any reason? That's a good one, Guns. I mean, even though I think that's still, I think once, anyway, I'm jumping around, but Guns just said in his comment, I'm not just trying to poke at him either, but you go to every meeting and run for local office. Yeah, okay, I get that. And I think once upon a time, let's cut to the chase, Corsair. If you can't get off the couch to vote, go to meetings and get involved now. Folks aren't going to do it when the shooting starts. Let me read that again. If you can't get off the couch to go vote, go to meetings and get involved now. Folks ain't going to do shit when the shooting starts. I vote. When I was in the town I was in, we moved to a different county 2 years ago. I was involved with the business I'm in. Was part of the Better Business Bureau. Was at all the different things. Tennessee, Thad, but Southwest Tennessee. So Mississippi's a stone's throw. I actually live in Tennessee, work in Mississippi. So. But anyway, so I've done the involvement thing, to some degree, but in the last 2 years, no. In the last 2 years, no. And Stephen Miller just said, voting does nothing, and voting in Massachusetts is a waste of time, says Jamie. I am on the fence about that. I think that ultimately voting does nothing when you get higher up the scale of the politician, right, of the office. I do think that there was a time, speaking to what Corsair said, Corsair trainers here and Guns Coast to Coast here just said, I do think that once upon a time, you would get involved with your school board. You would get involved with the alderman and the whatever you did. You were either a voice, a nagging voice, or in their ear, or uh, an encouraging whatever, a voice that they would listen to, or respected, or whatever, a voice nonetheless. You get in their ears, or you get yourself involved if you can. I agree with that, Guns. And that was what I was posing earlier. How do you get the 10,000 folks in the lawn, right? But anyway, once upon a time, I do believe that you could be loud enough, or not loud, excuse me, not loud enough, but you could be present enough in your local community, in the government. This again, the school boards, the water quality board, the sanitation department meetings, the whatever, I mean, from the smallest to the biggest in your community, and you could perhaps influence change, influence people, and create change, or whatever, have some kind of influence. I think, I know, at least in the communities around me and many others that I'm aware of, that is not the case anymore in a lot of communities. Maybe not in every, but that is one of, again, left right paradigm. I hate using this as an example, but this is one of the things. You know what, low budget builder, you're right, and I won't, because I want to, whether or not, regardless of how I feel about it ultimately. Ang Walker, you're right. To my king. Yep. Damn, Guns, you hit me hard with that, bro. True story, though. Yeah, true. You're right. You're right. Again, locally, here to me, man, they are so infiltrated already. The local governments, and I'm talking about, man, it is the good old boy network BS. I mean, if you've seen it anywhere, like the kind of stuff you see on the TV, right? To use that example again, the kind of stuff they make shows and movies about, or write books about, because it's almost that's exactly what we got going on here. County, because it's rural, and pushing it forever. And all they're interested in is the money and the power, at least around here. More the money than anything, the money and the influence. I don't think they even care that much about power around here, as much as just influence, where they can get what they want done, And what I have read countless examples of the left from on high sticking folks, these hardcore progressives and things, that's what they call themselves. What they are is, liberal idiots. Hey, American. Hey, buddy, what's up, man? I just watched a couple of yours earlier today. I only became aware of your, and I put a couple comments over there too, by the way. Uh-oh, where'd you go? There you go. Topic here. Oh yeah, we're okay. Read and seen lots of examples. Good for you, American. They have been infiltrating local small governments with people who are so far gone left that they'll bring pornography into schools as literature, into grade schools. This stuff is happening, folks. This is happening. You guys know it. I'm not preaching to the choir here. Little RWP is in, what is he, third grade, I believe. I apologize, I don't even know. He is homeschooled, okay? So I believe it's third grade. I know I'm a bad dad for not knowing exactly what grade he's in, but Mrs. RWP, you know, she does that, and then he goes to a co-op a couple days a week. But we at first, you know, the little town that we used to live in, or a county over rather, that I grew up in, place where I went to school, there are people paying ridiculous premiums, 4, 5, 6 times the value of everything else around it, you know, in the other little towns and suburbs around us, because we're near a big city. I say near-ish city. They're paying out the wazoo to buy houses in this little town. I'm going to speak to this John Rendon here in just a minute, but first let me finish my thought here. And it's for the schools. They say, oh, the schools in this town's schools are amazing. This town's schools, blah, blah, blah. You know, they're the best schools. And that's all I've ever heard, you know. Before we had little RWP, and Mrs. RWP and I have been married for 25 years, in fact, last month. So 25 years. And little RWP is only 8. So it wasn't for lack of trying. It's just what it is, right? So we had been talking about moving since before he was born. And you know, coming out to the country like this, you know, getting more rural and doing a little homestead, etc. And then when he was born, we kind of got off that because Mrs. RWP said, well, you know, this town that we live in, okay, whatever, you know. So, you know, I was fine, okay, you know. Well, we started him in these great schools, the same school system that I grew up in, the same school system that so many before me. That's okay, zombie. I try not to say, I realized I said he, you know, I try not to say, I try and just keep it little RWP, but no, he's a he. So, but anyway, he was there for about a month, about 4 or 5 weeks. And we realized quickly, kindergarten, mind you, already not what we wanted, not what we expected, and not what we were going to subject him to. And it wasn't about curricula at that time. You know, 4 weeks into kindergarten wasn't about curricula, but it was about the process. You know, so it was a very revealing thing. So we pulled him right then and there and started homeschooling him. And then it wouldn't be a couple years later that not even a couple years later, a year later maybe, that we had the opportunity to move on this property. So John Rendon, it's all talk. Just want to make money off social media. You guys are funny. Well, John Rendon, do tell, brother. Are you here to troll, or are you here because you monetized? And while I do have a Patreon page, right, which you have the, you know, you don't have to pay for YouTube. Whether or not YouTube wants to give me a couple of shells for playing videos, you know, or ads on my videos. See, they're going to do that. And here's the thing about that, you guys. YouTube's going to play ads on my videos anyway. So if they, you know, if I monetize it, then I get at least a little piece of that. Why wouldn't I do it? And when I say little, I'll tell you what, I've done this channel since almost 3 years. January will be 3 years that I've done this channel. Been monetized, I guess, about 2.5. Now, I'm not American. I'm not. I'm just, I don't care. Low budget builder, sure. I'll catch you Monday. Loan you some money. But, you know, I can tell you that if you were to average it out on a monthly basis, between the two, the Patreon and the YouTube, I believe I'm hitting somewhere around $40-50 a month. You know, I'll take it every day, every month. I will. Maybe 60. I think it's varied, but I would say the average has been probably that, you know. I don't do this for the money, because if I did, I'm a failure at it. And that's not what it's about. Okay. if you go back and watch the first video I ever did, and many of the early ones, and Guns loses money by making his videos. Well, that I see. Now that model I couldn't do. I couldn't support that model, Guns. But if you go back to my first video, I said that God opened my eyes in November of 2011 to putting up my stores, to preparing, putting up things to prepare for my family, for hard and lean times. And then fast forward to what was it, 2019 January maybe? Yeah, 2019. Yeah, January. I bought a GoPro camera in September of 18. Took it on the vacation with the family. We used it underwater and everything. Little RWP thought it was cool because it could go underwater, and we played with it and said, oh, let's put this stuff up on the internet and share it with our family members and stuff. And so I did. There was another channel that, was, 5 subscribers. It was the family, and so we did that, and well, anyway, so I kind of took a couple of opportunities to opine about things had to do with school. Actually, the like I mentioned, the kindergarten for little RWP. And I kind of did a couple of event videos on there. And Mrs. RWP said, hey, don't put that stuff on that where the family is. I said, you know what? Fair enough. That's when I started this channel. It wasn't about money. It was about wanting to help people and be able to share information. So I miss Midwest Prepper. And Guns Coast to Coast says he was a hack. Yeah, he sure was, that guy. I'm glad he's gone now. And then this Guns channel popped up out of the blue. But anyway, guys, look, I've gone on over an hour now. I hopped on unannounced, unplanned, just to do it. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. You got any questions, any comments, anything you want to throw at me, or y'all bantering back and forth, which is cool. One of my favorite things to do when I get on a live stream. I appreciate that, Builder 7. I do. Yeah, American Guns is, I'm telling you, he's just smart. I love the way. Thanks, Stephen Sewell. Midwest was a government plant. I'm just going to read this for a minute, then we'll jump out. Hey, Lone Star Preps. Good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a minute. The backup plan when they cut comms. I tried to touch on that. Let me speak to the zombie. Glad you did. Good topic. Talk tonight. Thanks, Zombie 5. Backup plans on comms. I tried to talk about that about a year and a half ago, and tried to get some people involved in it, and that's a cumbersome thing there. I don't know what you would do here. Hey, American, I'm keeping my eye on you too, brother. For real. I enjoy your channel, dude. I really just, literally, yours, the one you did yesterday, Hey, American, which was worse than you think, or what the hell was it? I'll tell you. Shit hit the fan is the worst is yet to come. That was about the I don't know, probably the 6th or 7th video of yours that I've seen, and it was the last one I watched before I came in here and turned this camera on, just a little while ago. And so Karen Lynn, I appreciate you too. I do. I appreciate it. East Texas, good to see you. Ben Washington. I guess you mean me. Probably some of these others. And gals, thank you very much for joining me on this chat and just base with you guys and let you know. See you, Tommy. Good to see you. I guess that's it. I'm going to get off here now. And guess what? Mrs. RWP, see you, Corsair. Mrs. RWP, And little RWP will be home tomorrow afternoon. And Mr. RWP couldn't be happier because I have missed them tremendously. Dookie Bob, sorry, dude. We talked about some stuff, kind of a little bit of everything. Dorothy, good to see you. Glad you caught it too. But Dookie Bob, if you see you, Tennessee Patriot, if you want to go back and watch this here in a few minutes, when I turn this off, it'll take about 5 minutes to refresh, and then it'll be on the channel. I think it was a good chat, and I would encourage you and anybody else that watches this later. Of course, this is the end of the video, so y'all won't know it until you get here. But look at the live chats because you guys are smart. You guys have a lot to say and a lot to add. And what I like doing when I do these live streams, which I don't do very often, but I like to go back the next day or so, or a couple, hours later or something once they refresh, and I like to look at all the live comments because I don't catch them all as we go. So God bless you, Tennessee Patriot. Hey, American. I'll see you later, buddy. Admiral Preparedness. What do I think of preppers? Well, I think pretty good of myself. Guns, Pumpkin Face, see ya. Want to be prepper? God bless you too. You too, Led Zepp girl. Jammy Mammy. See y'all. Mark Chesser, hey buddy, thanks. I appreciate it. Alpha, Pharaoh, Zombie 5, Tim's Ball, everybody. Thank y'all. Prepper Insights. Thomas, see you, buddy. Karen Lynn, you too. Brian Jewett, I will keep the faith. Geronimo, KKR. See you, Kay. Thanks for being here. I mean it. You guys, a lot of you guys are really like family to me. Seriously. I've gotten to know some of you personally, some more than others, but I appreciate all of you. So, talk to you later. I guess I'm going to call it. Take care, Mark. Y'all be good. Everybody, good night. See you next time.